Alright, hey y'all, it is Tasha back with another video today. Thank you so much for stopping into my channel. We gonna jump right into this week's episode of Married at First Sight. This week was episode 5, I believe. So they are at the honeymoon, they settled in, doing some fun stuff, and we got to see that. So I'm gonna run down just like I did last week, couple by couple, instead of going all over the place with the events that they went to. So, notes, let's get started. First up, Bennett and Amelia. Man, just looking at them is so sweet. Amelia is already in love with Bennett. And Bennett is already in love with her. It was so cute when I don't know if it was producer, cameraman, somebody was asking him if he had a crush on her, and he didn't want to answer, and they were just like, she's not listening. And he was like, yeah, I got a crush on Amelia. I'm like, both of y'all are in love already. It's so cute. And then when Amelia asked him why he did the show, and he was like, well, YOLO. And Amelia was like, YOLO? He said, yeah, you only love once. And she just looked at him and she was like, no, it's not what YOLO stands for. He's just so dorky. Again, just continues to be himself and does not care what anybody thinks about it. And speaking on that, his eating, oh my God, y'all, his eating was grossing me out. I was like, please take smaller bites of food, please chew it, please not get food all around your mouth. Like, stop. But again, he's not trying to impress nobody. He is just being his regular self. But in that instance, I was like, please, you are killing me slowly. Please eat like you have some table manners, okay? And then I had, a question of why Bennett was swimming in his boxers. Woody's reaction to it was basically my reaction to it of why. Even if you forgot swimming trunks or they were wet, they were just going to get wet again, so put those on. If you forgot them, I'm sure there's a gift shop in the hotel. Just go get you another pair, and let's not be out here in your boxers when you are around, other people's wives. Not that I think any other wife is checking for him, but just to be respectful, we don't want your hands in the fruit or balloons just, hanging out, okay? Thank you. And I swear when it was time for them to, they were getting ready for bed, if you guys have seen the meme, it says, or people will sometimes write it out and say it, and it's like nobody, and then it's like something that they would do and nobody asked them to do it. That was exactly how I felt when Amelia asked Bennett if he wanted his dress. It was like, nobody. Amelia, you want your dress? Oh, it was so funny how she was making fun of it and he just took it in stride. It's not a dress, but it was just like so out of left field. I was not expecting her to say that. But that was so funny. I feel like the best moment for me this episode was really Bennett and Amelia getting pretty deep on their conversation. When they were, after they had wind down that night and they were in the bed talking, and then when they were playing chess, I thought those were really good times where they had really deep, meaningful conversations, and it really helps them to really know who the person is. So I really appreciated that about the two of them. Did not appreciate Bennett's dirty feet, and the cameraman was petty for making sure that we saw that, because you could have not zoomed down there, or you guys could have, just cut that part right on out. But Bennett, we have to wash our feet. The swimming pool is not a replacement for taking a bath or a shower, and the water just trickling down, the soap just trickling down, it's not enough. We gotta wash our feet, okay? All right, thank you. But anyways, their conversation was just so deep. They were so vulnerable with each other. They really didn't, they had no fear of judgment of the other one saying, how they grew up, because they seemed to have grown up pretty differently. And none of them, made it seem as if, what I did was better than what you did. Just really trying to understand more about the person. I absolutely love that. Give each other a shot, learn, and then see how you guys feel after the 8 weeks. Although I'm pretty sure they will stay together. If not, let's just not even do this show no more, okay? All right, next up, Olivia and Brent. They still continue to get on my nerves. Olivia really talks like they've been married forever, as if it hadn't been like a smooth 48 hours. She just talks as if, we're doing really good. I seem to really like him. We have good conversation. I'm like, you guys have not known each other. You have not talked that much. I mean, you can at least put the caveat in there of, so far it's been going good. So far we have good conversation. I'm willing, I'm excited to learn more. But the way she talks is as if, we're good. We're in this thing. No problems. Don't worry about us. And I'm like, oh, okay. Another thing I didn't realize is that Olivia has been single for the past 3.5 years. And while we know Brent was the serial dater, and we even found out kind of why he was the serial dater, I think they were basically on two total opposite ends of the spectrum, since they both, I think they had both been cheated on, if I'm remembering correctly. So she kind of took the time to be by herself and really focus on herself and her career. Brent took the time to, just go out here and have the time of his life dating. So that's why he kind of said that he was the serial dater, because he had gotten hurt and therefore it was hard for him to trust anybody. So he just figured, he would just kind of just go out here and do his own thing and not get serious with anybody, which again, I feel like those are two opposite ends of the spectrum, especially with her. Of you go from, not even dating anybody for 3.5 years and you just jump right into getting married. Like, that's huge. So I hope she doesn't act as if, she has to make this work, that, because she's been single for so long, that this is just kind of the last hurrah for her per se, and she just has to do whatever it takes to keep this marriage afloat and make it work. Because that's the kind of vibe that I'm getting so far. And being single for 3.5 years, it kind of explains that, because she started talking about how, it kind of got lonely at times, and I think she just wants a partner now so bad. She may overlook some of the stuff that, Brent says or does. I hope not, but that's kind of the vibe that I'm getting. And then when she asked him, so, when was the last date you went on before you found out you were matched? And he was like, oh, 2 days before. And I was like, okay, he's being honest, but okay. And then she's like, so, do you think you would have, still pursued that person or gone on another date with that person if you didn't get matched? He was like, well, I didn't, because I found out I got matched. But I mean, she was cool. We had a lot of common. We vibed. Like, he was going on about how they were pretty much, feeling each other out. They had the vibe. They were going good. And I'm just like, I don't think she wanted to hear that part, Britt. I might be wrong, but I don't think she wanted to hear that you had, a great date 2 days before you guys get married, especially when she's been single 3.5 years. Just don't think you should have shared, that much. But this is Brent. Olivia's eyebrows bother me. Side note, I know it's random, but they bother me so bad. And then when they were with all the other couples on the boat, and they were just kind of talking, and they started, just asking each other questions. And of course, everybody wants to know from the other couples sexually what everybody is doing. And then when he, said that they made a decision that they were going to keep things private, I was just like, private? Okay, that sounded like more of her than him, because I can guarantee the minute he gets drunk and gets around his brothers, all the stuff is just going to have diarrhea of the mouth, and he is just going to spill everything. So it's only a matter of time before he spills it all, and then she's pissed that he did it. But, whatever. And then it also annoyed me that they were about to go to bed, and she I think she was about to get in the shower, or she was about to do something else, and he's about to brush his teeth, and she was like, you can't brush your teeth without me. We have to brush our teeth together. And I'm just like, it's not that serious. Girl, Olivia, calm down. You looking a little thirsty. Calm down, honey. Y'all can brush your teeth separately. It's just, oh God, she annoys me. it's just something about her. It's something about her, and it's definitely something about him. Because even as he was, telling us the whole story about how he was cheated on and hurt, and that's how he became a serial dater, I had just a minute of, oh, okay, I get it. And then it immediately switched to, I don't know if I really believe you, Britt. I don't know if I 100% believe what he said. I don't know. I just don't. So, anyway. Moving on from them to old Henry and Christina, and I say old because Henry acts old. He acts like he is a smooth 75 years old with brittle bones, ready to go into retirement. I just don't know. I just don't know. These two are just, oh my gosh, I don't know. I feel like all Henry does is say, yeah. As soon as Christina says something, he's like, yeah. He just looks down, looks around, yeah. And I'm just like, say something else. Oh my gosh. And then, of course, Christina rolls back around this episode. She just cannot stop talking about, this still being his first international trip, first time in Mexico, first time swimming in the waters in Mexico, first time taking a sip of alcohol in Mexico, his first time smelling Mexico air, his first time touching Mexican sand. Everything she has to let us know it's his first time, as if we did not get that a few episodes back. We understand, and she just keeps telling us. Thank you. I put down that at least, because he's just been like, I just don't even have the words. He's just been so almost afraid of everything. And I was so shocked that even when they were paddle boating, he was like, oh, I'll take the lead. You don't have to do anything. I'll do it. And then, of course, they kind of ended up about to crash into the side of a rock or a cliff or something. But I'm just like, okay, he's trying. We're going to get there. So he did that. And then, of course, when they were getting out of the boat, he had trouble getting out. And he's like, oh, God, I'm about to die. You're not about to die. You just tripped trying to get out of the boat. Once they went to the little mud place, I can't remember what the name of it was, but they went to, lay in the mud and do all that. He couldn't put his hair in the mud. He just couldn't relax. He just thought something was going to happen to him. They walked up the side of the stairs of a building, and he thought, he was just going to break his ankle. I'm like, Henry, just chill out. Like, everything is not, I don't think she's trying to kill you. She doesn't have life insurance on you yet. I don't think Christina's trying to kill you. Sorry, y'all, my battery died. So let me pick back up to where I was talking about Henry and Christina. He just exhausts me. Like, looking at him and trying to, like, force him to be like, say something, act different, do something. Like, it's just exhausting. And it's still just very uncomfortable to watch him talk to her. With their conversation, when they were on the boat with the rest of the couples, we could already tell Christina is going to be pretty jealous because all the other couples are pretty much vibing with each other. So she's going to definitely begin comparing where they are with where her and Henry are. Although, he kind of put that little caveat out there of, just not comparing to anybody, just, going slow, going with what feels right, blah, blah, blah. And I was just kind of like, yeah, okay. But the way her mind works, she sees everybody else around. She's going to be comparing. And, well, why aren't we doing that? We should be here because the other people are here at this level. So we should be there too. So I can already see that happening from them being there. And then I know if it's anything like the last few seasons, they every now and then they'll bring the couples together, or they'll bring the girls together and then the guys together separately. So once they do that and she continues to hear how they're progressing, and if they're still not progressing, that's definitely going to become an issue for her. And then it was funny how they were talking, and really Woody was doing a lot of talking with, trying to figure out, how they're doing, what's going on. And Henry made the comment that he hasn't even approached a woman at a bar. Like, he basically wouldn't even know how to do it, and he hasn't done it. Like, how you go from, you can't even ask a woman out, to let me go and get married because it's something, totally out of my comfort zone and what I'm used to, but you thought that was a good idea. Okay, girl. All right. He's just very socially awkward when he's with the group. When he's alone with Christina, it is all just awkward. I don't care for her, but girl, get out now. Don't waste your time. Just get out now and find somebody else. All right, now we're gonna move into Karen and Miles. Karen is clearly going to be the person this season that always is reminding us that Miles is a stranger. There's always that one person every season that has to constantly remind us that their spouse is still a stranger. We know that's the premise of the show, okay? We know you guys are strangers. Let's get past it and let's move on. But, she just, I don't really know him. We're still strangers. And I don't, okay, Karen, let's move on. Oh my gosh. And then once they sat and they had their little date night together, and they kind of talked a little bit more about their relationships, and that's when Miles told us that he had been in 10 monogamous relationships. And of course, Karen is definitely going to use that as an excuse for her to, not give her all. It's going to be a cop-out for her to get out. She's going to use that as a crutch of why she can't move forward. I can already see it coming. And, 10, I feel like, is a lot because he's only 26. But, simple math can tell us we're not talking about long-term, very serious relationships when he's only 26. And he's telling us he's had 10 monogamous relationships. That can just be, hey, we like each other, we're not dating anyone else, and they're exclusive for maybe, 3 months, 6 months, whatever it is, and then figure out that they're not meant for each other, or it's no need to, pursue this relationship any further because the compatibility is just not there. So I took that as that's what he meant by saying that. And most of the time, just for men and women in general, men will do more dating than women. Women, once you kind of go on one date with a man, you already got your wedding and your kids planned before you leave the restaurant most of the time. So for him to say that, I was like, kind of concerning. But also, if he's the type of guy that knew he wanted to get married, he wanted to have a wife, so he's probably just wasn't about, dating 3, 4, 5 women all at the same time and being this player per se, but actually once deciding that he likes somebody, getting into a relationship exclusively with them, and then just focusing on that person until things just didn't work out anymore. So I would have been more concerned if these were like, if he was 45 and, he had 10 monogamous relationships that were all more than 2-3 years or something like that, or if he had been engaged 10 times, something like that would cause me to have more concern. But for this, I was just like, okay, whatever. But I just still want Karen to just relax more. She's just so uptight, and I love when they get around Amani and Woody, because I definitely feel like Miles relaxed a lot more with his friend being around. And I'm just hoping that some of, Amani's, just go with the flow rubs off on Karen, because she really just needs to, again, every episode, just let it go. You can say you want a divorce after 8 weeks, but for now, just figure out if you even want that piece. Girl, let's just move on, okay? I do hate that for her and Amani, because they did share this episode, that both of them were in pretty rough relationships before they got into this. I believe with Karen, her last significant other cheated on her and had a baby, and then with Amani, she found out the person she was dating was married. So I was like, ouch for both of them. I just hate that. I just want our black women to find love without having to find the struggle first. But that's a whole nother video for a whole nother day, but whatever. And then lastly, Amani and Woody, they were so funny at the bar talking about sex. I told y'all about 2 episodes ago that Amani wanted it, but for her to just kind of open up that, she probably hasn't had as many partners, she's not as experienced, and Woody, of course, acting like big man on campus that, oh girl, I can take care of it, it's all right. I'm like, Woody, sit down. But I told y'all, sooner or later, and probably on the sooner, it's going to happen for them too, because they are just too emotionally, physically, sexually attracted to each other that somebody's going to not be able to hold on any longer. all these taking showers together and everything, and cuddling, and oh, okay, let's see how long it's gonna last, Amani. Let's see, girl. Because we all knew when they were getting ready, she was like, you want to take a shower with me? We know what that means, girl. We know. It's okay, though. You married. Do your thing. And then we find out Woody jumps in the... I don't know if that's the ocean, like it's a pool that leads into the ocean, or if it's just a pool at their resort. But he just jumps in knowing that his ring's a little bit loose and just, lose it. He hadn't even been married 48 hours and he just, loses the ring. But thankfully, Amani took it like a champ. Girl, go on Amazon, get him another $10 ring. It'll be there before y'all get back home, okay? That's not a big deal. And then Amani's reaction toward Christina and Henry was hilarious when they were on the boat talking, and she was just, they cut to her and she was just like, died. I was like, we all know what that means, but it was just so funny because I'm like, the couples even see right through Henry and Christina, and I'm just like, yeah, we're all getting the same vibe from y'all. You ain't gonna make it, all right? But as they had their kind of date night, I really did applaud Amani, because while she knows that she's like, ooh, I am sexually attracted to him, she's not ready to do that, because she feels like she wants them to really focus on everything else and not focus on the sex, which is really good, because sex can cloud your judgment and make you think you've fallen in love with somebody when you really not, or make you overlook things that you may not any other time overlook, because it's good to you. So I'm glad that she's like, nope, let me refrain so that my mind can stay clear and focused, so I can make sure I know if this is what I want for the rest of my life, seriously. So I applaud you for that, girl. I don't know how much longer you're gonna last, but good job and kudos to you, okay? But they are just the fan favorite for me. They are just so comfortable and so cute, and she's just like, she's nervous because he makes her feel so comfortable, and I'm just like, it's okay, but that's a part of being hurt before it's like, it makes you leery of the stuff that feels good. You're just like, it ain't supposed to feel like this. Girl, just enjoy it. And I love them. Y'all are the fan favorite. Please don't F this up, okay? Because we all gonna be mad at y'all, and we all gonna be in New Orleans looking for you, okay, to figure out why y'all messed up, who messed it up, whose fault was it, okay? But that was basically it for this episode. Next week, it looks like it's going to get on and popping with, a little bit of drama when it comes to Olivia Brent, Miles, and Karen. Looks like we're going to start to have a little bit of excitement. That's usually when it happens, that second episode of the honeymoon, and then once they go back home and start looking at each other's places and moving in with each other, that's when we can expect some of this to hopefully rev up a little bit. So I'm excited to see what next week brings. If you guys, have any questions, let me know below. How did y'all feel about the episode? Let's chat. Leave your comments below, and I will be reading them. Until then, I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.